Mehmet Okur. The Jazz eliminated the Rockets in 6 games. That game was Friday night in Salt Lake City, 38 and a half hours ago. So the Jazz in the road blue are on a quick turnaround. The Lakers eliminated Denver on Monday in Colorado, so they have had a week to prepare. Carlos Boozer goes at Gasol early on, and Coach, that will be important in this series on that end of the floor.
Absolutely. Gasol must try to stay out of foul trouble. It's going to be difficult because Boozer not only hits the jump shot, but he attacks the basket off the dribble.
Lakers won 3 of the 4 matchups this season. Gasol did not play in any of them against the Jazz. He missed that shot. Here comes Darren Williams, the fabulous point guard for Utah.
Now, in watching Utah, they run a lot of cuts and opposite side of the court. Watch the cutters coming right into the painted area.
There goes Kirilenko, who slips between Bryant and Radmanovic in the first 2 points for Andre in the first 2 field goals for Utah. Coach, that layoff we talked about. Friday night Utah plays, so they're kind of on that every other day schedule. The Lakers, it's been a while. Is that a factor early?
Yeah, it definitely is, Mike, in regards to timing. Timing and tempo. You're not worried about conditioning. You had a chance for your guys who had major nicks injury-wise for them to heal up. Big thing for them right now, they'll be in gear in about 5 minutes.
Odom with the dunk. Kirilenko responds inside. Can't convert him. Derek Fisher, who was a member of the Jazz last year, gets Odom flying from the right side and draws the game's first foul.
Now, when we came on, Mike, we brought up the point. Kobe Bryant, naturally, he's coming off of Denver, 33 points. But this Laker team, from end line to end line, extremely quick in the open floor, because with Gasol and Odom, you now have 5 guys who run and run hard and can finish.
Odom comes to the line. You see what he did in the sweep of the Nuggets. And as the lefty knocks down his first, here's Lisa Salter.
Well, Mike, Darren Williams said that they got to celebrate for, a couple of hours after Friday night's win against Houston. And then he said Saturday morning it was all about the Lakers and preparing for LA. I said, are you guys tired? And he said, who cares? This is the playoffs. We have no choice. But hopefully their long layoff will affect them more than the quick turnaround affects us. And he's absolutely right. The Lakers haven't played in almost a week. Phil Jackson said reaction time. Are our reflexes there? That's what we're going to have to focus on early on.
Fisher's pass for the cutting Radmanovic out of bounds, Lee. So it'll stay down here off Utah.
Mike, at both ends of the floor, we have 2 excellent offense. You have the triangle with the Lakers and a lot of offside cutting. At the other end, you have like a UCLA set. It's a 1-3-1. And then you'll see cutters. You'll see post up. They gave you the total baggage to try to defend.
Bryant with the first shot, second leading scorer in the regular season, likely to be the MVP. Only scored 33 and a half in that Denver sweep. He gets on the board for the first time.
In watching both of these teams, remember they are 2 of the top 5 scoring teams that we have in the league. And they both shoot the 3-point shot. The Lakers a little bit more than Utah.
Darren Williams loses his teammate from last year. Fisher then loses the ball. And Derek with the push ahead to Kobe. To Odom. Beautiful defense by a terrific long defender in Kirilenko.
Well, Kirilenko's the only shot blocker out there for Utah, Mike.
Okur, a center shooting 3-pointer. Off the mark, and here's Odom on the push again. Both teams will push it. Fisher. Boozer goes up and gets the ball.
Now for the Lakers, the transition game is big, and naturally you have to worry about Odom and Gasol. But Fisher and Kobe Bryant, they prosper greatly.
Boozer off the mark, as he was in that first series against Houston. Carlos Boozer, 55% in the regular season, 43% from the field against the Rockets.
And it wasn't like he wasn't getting good shots, Mike. He was getting open looks. It just came down to taking his time.
Fisher takes Williams right. A beautiful feed for Gasol.
The Lakers run extremely well without the ball within their offense. Any type of dribbling will open up back cutting, which you're witnessing not only on the break, but in the half-court sets.
Bryant goes after it, takes it away, and takes off.
So much for Phil Jackson worrying about reaction time.
What did it take? It took about a minute or so of action to get this 9-0 run going and get the reaction from the Lakers, the best team in the West this year, 57-25. Ronnie Brewer missed. Okur, an offensive rebound and a putback by Mehmet in his 6th year in the league out of Turkey.
Now, when we talk about the Utah Jazz, they hurt you in the paint, but also second shot attempts. They're one of the best that we have in the league.
Fisher draws the defense and finds Gasol Much like game 1 against Denver, a lot of easy stuff with Powell early on.
This looks a little bit like down the park. Guys are putting the ball out of the guys are moving. Uncontested layups.
Fisher flops, doesn't get the call. Nice fake by Okur, but he drew into a tougher shot. And Joey Crawford calls a foul. It's Joey Crawford, Jim Clark, and Ronnie Garrettson, the officials today.
Now keep an eye on Kobe Bryant as he gets his deflection right there. He's always in the top 10 in steals, then in the open floor. We know he's one of the best ever in finishing. Now Fisher's game is off the dribble. If you come to help out, then he will always give the ball up. Out on the floor for the Lakers, not only do you have Fisher and Kobe Bryant, who are excellent making passes, but you have two of the best big men up front in this league, in Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol, in getting assists.
Okur the miss. Here's Jerry Sloan's comments pregame.
We have to play together, take good shots, and we'll be just fine. You guys have beaten every team in this league. And that's indicative enough to know that you guys can play against anybody when you put your heart out there and stay together.
Including November 30th when they handed the Lakers their worst loss of the season, 120-96. Odom misfired. Shot clock did not reset. It didn't hit the rim. It's at 6, and Kobe knows that. Working on the second-year man, Ronnie Brewer. Radmanovic, a 3. He also missed it badly. Rarely you see two NBA players miss everything in the same set.
Well, that's why we got to get somebody in the mezzanine to close those doors that are open, okay? Come on.
Okur got Odom in the air. Radmanovic rotates nicely. Odom recovers for the block. 2 to shoot for Williams. Pushing the back on Boozer, his first foul.
Easy call. Boozer definitely pushing in the back. Now, Okur is looking for a shot. That's major. Lamar Odom is an outstanding defender at 6'10" with the long arm. That's why we told you early up at the top of the show, the Lakers are quick and long. And they're not as physical as Utah. That's why they might get hurt in the paint and in the offensive rebounding. But in the open court and then defensively, they're flying.
Bryant working on Brewer. What a tough test it is for Brewer in this series. Caught up in the air, and there's a foul. Coach flying out here. I just said, okay, we got Lakers-Utah game 1. What kind of matchups are we looking at? And I sit there and go, wow, what do you do if you're Utah against that guy?
Well, he's impossible to guard. No one guy in the league can even attempt to guard him, mainly because of his size, his long arms, and his IQ, because he's going to test you defensively with the spin move, the jab step, stepping back, and then off the dribble. You have no idea when he's going to give you the ball fake, which he just did.
Now, it's one thing to be the all-time leading scorer on a franchise that's been around for a week or two.
Yeah.
But a franchise that's won 14 NBA titles, that's something. And only Jerry West, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Elgin Baylor have scored more points in Laker history than Bryant, who's been doing it now with LA for a dozen years, and certainly will have a jersey going up to the top of the Staples Center in the next decade or so.
Mike, when you talk about offensive tricks, Kobe Bryant has the ball. Plus, he has the athleticism to make it go.
Boozer, left hand dunk, and the foul. Gasol said he cleared out space, and Jim Clark says, let me see your number, because I got you for a foul.
Now, he might have put it, but you're going to see. This is just a monster play. Can you finish with your left hand? And you could see Boozer's right arm go out and take the left arm of Pau Gasol right down on that play. I like the IQ today of the game plan for Boozer and Okur. They're coming out, and they're not going to settle. They're going to drive the basketball.
Ronny Turiaf is coming. As we were talking back in the locker room before the game, one thing that could help Utah matchup-wise is get Gasol in foul trouble, and boom, there's 2 on Gasol drawn by Boozer.
Well, that's a major loss, because not only are you getting rid of the points, your second leading scorer, but most of all, also the assists, the rebounding, and the shot blocking. Pau Gasol gives you the total game.
Yeah, think about what everybody said, how good they are on offense with Gasol in there in the triangle. Turiaf will play in his stead. 8 to shoot for Darren Williams. Kirilenko the bounce. Boozer, the tough interior pass. Good reaction and recovery by Ronnie Brewer, 14th overall pick 2 years ago out of Arkansas. And the Jazz are within 2, halfway through the opening quarter. Off the triangle action, Odom. Met by Kirilenko, his second block, shot clock at 10.
Well, Kirilenko is the man of the hour. He's everywhere.
Odom couldn't finish, and Kirilenko gets another rebound. Maybe one of the biggest X factors for any of the 8 teams remaining in the playoffs. Andre Kirilenko. Boozer, a quick catch and one, and Boozer banging people inside, getting the Lakers in foul trouble.
Mike, the passing and cutting at both ends of the floor, outstanding. Finishing in the paint under competition, excellent. This is just beautiful basketball.
The Lakers scored 9 in a row. Utah responds with a half dozen of their own. All tied early on.
NBA playoffs on ABC. Brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. GMC, we are professional grade. And Taco Bell, think outside the bun.
Great May Day down on the pier. Good game in Staples early on. All tied at 13. The Utah Jazz, runners-up to San Antonio in the West last year. Western Conference finalists, of course, through the years of Malone and Stockton, 19 times to the playoffs, twice to the finals, eliminated by Phil Jackson's coach Chicago teams. Then they touched bottom, Jerry Sloan's team rebuilding, but in the last 2 seasons, very impressive with Darren Williams and Carlos Boozer. Boozer acquired from Cleveland after a contract snafu allowed the Jazz an opportunity to get in there and take him. And Darren Williams taken 1 pick ahead of Chris Paul, who's starring in New Orleans. And those two have reprised the point guard power forward combo. And some good players around them, like Andre Kirilenko and Mehmet Okur. And we see Utah, he'll be winning the Northwest this year with 54 wins, the 4th seed in the West.
Lamar Odom is on fire early, Mike. He has so much energy, he's ready to jump out of the gym.
Bryant, twisting move by Kobe in the air, 180, and the basket.
We have some athletes out there at the Laker end of the floor, and that's where the advantage is, not only at the 2-guard position, but at the 4 and 5, power forward and center. The athleticism in this series is going to pay out as we move along.
That was all Derek Fisher knocking it away from his teammate last year, Boozer. Now pushing for space, Curry out from the edge of his range. Rebounded by Williams.
Now the young man has had a great year. The second unit with the Lakers can go against any second unit in the league, mainly because of Kuriev. He can play 2 positions, rebound the ball, shot block, and then also score for you.
Okur guarded by Fisher. See if they go right back to him. Williams will take Odom instead. Met by Turiaf, but able to convert. Powerful at 6'3", 205 pounds.
Now that's a confident point guard. He called for the ball because he saw that he had Odom in a mismatch. And no way is the power forward or center going to guard him out at the 3-point line.
Jazz by 1. There's that energy. Odom's on baseline several times, and Bryant missed the 3. 4 rebounds already for Boozer. Kirilenko with his feet set. Okur tried to keep it alive, and he ends up causing the foul. Let's go back to that spectacular baseline move by Kobe.
Now this is just a miraculous shot. Keep an eye on this. You do a 360 in the air, and then you have the courage to bank it in. Now Darren just took Odom off the dribble and then challenged the shot blocker right in front of the rim. He's perfect for their style of play, Mike. Upper body strength, great legs, and also he can finish in the paint or shoot the 3.
First sub in for Utah, Paul Millsap, second year out of Louisiana Tech. Radmanovic blocked again by Kirilenko. Give him 3 in the first 8.5 minutes.
Well, Kirilenko can fill up every column defensively, not only with the shot blocking, but the steals, the forces, and deflections. He's a joy to have on your club.
7 years in the league out of Russia, using Radmanovic to the window. Kirilenko for 2. This guy was an all-star once during his career in 2004. Has had some flaky moments, let's just say. He's had some strange comments in press conferences and things like that. But when he is into basketball and into what's going on, what a indisposable part on this Utah team. Bryant fouled by Brewer.
Well, that's a situation where you play a guy perfectly. You know he's a great shooter. In the playoffs, in the round 1, he's getting 24 shots a game. And he just stares you down, and then when he wants to elevate, he's up in the air. You try to strip him, he'll be on the line all night long.
Kobe shot a lot of free throws in the series against the Nuggets. And you see he is the one who has brought that early energy that Lisa was alluding to. He and Odom for the Lakers. One more for Kobe. TNT tomorrow continues the playoff action. Game 2 as Detroit, New Orleans at home tried to take that 2-0 advantage. They'll have the action during the week. We'll pick you up on Thursday with Game 2 of that Boston-Cleveland series and Game 3 of the Hornets and Spurs. And next Sunday on ABC, you'll see Game 4 of this series from Salt Lake City. Just to set this series for you, Game 2 is Wednesday night on TNT. We'll have Game 3 Friday night on ESPN from Salt Lake, where Utah was as good as anybody in the NBA, 37-4 at home this season, and then Game 4 on Sunday. This has been a problem for Utah on the road. Fisher off on the 3. The Jazz, Hubie, were 17-24 away from Salt Lake.
The transition game of the Lakers, they love to shoot the three-point shots on the break, and that's where you have to stop them. In the series during the year, they shot it over 40% against the Jazz, and that was their main area where they hurt them.
There you see the Utah numbers this year as Millsap was fouled going up inside. They gave up a lot more points on the road, and that's dangerous against a Laker team that was 4th in the league at 108.5 points per game. We'll step out for a minute. 2:38, quarter 1, game 1, best of 7, the winner to the Western Conference Finals.
Tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Back here in LA, the fight for the funniest is on. The most hilarious characters in TV history are pitted against each other, and the viewers have voted to see who will win the title. It's TV's all-time funniest, Friday at 8 Eastern and Pacific, 7 Central. Only here on ABC. Lakers trail by 1. Hubie mentioned Lamar Odom bringing energy early. He's also wearing a microphone this afternoon. Let's eavesdrop.
Oh, Blake 3, 1, 2, 3. That's what being a rock star is all about. Jack, let's go. Being a rock star is all about.
Some of the comments of Lamar Odom today. Odom has really seen his role change since the addition of Pau Gasol from a basketball standpoint, as well as just the pressure on who has to take the shots. A little bit of pressure off him. His production has grown.
Well, he is a player, Mike, that can give you 14 to 16 points and 10 rebounds every night out of the package. Now he can step back. Since Pau Gasol has joined this team, he's averaging 3 more points and also 3 more rebounds. The big thing here is that now he can just play within. You cannot double team him now, so he's like a wild stallion out there. He can make it happen.
Millsap missed both free throws. Here the Lakers have gone cold on the offensive end. Luke Walton in off the bench. A great series against Denver. Didn't get it, but Turioff keeps the triple on.
Now Odom put that ball right on the money to Walton. Walton had a great series against Denver. Every game getting you double-figure points and then also shooting over 70%.
Kyle Korver to the deck to try to get it away from Kobe, and he's called for the loose ball foul as Korver, who was a big trade acquisition, came off the bench. Bryant helped up by his teammates. We are into the benches now here, Coach, with Harpering and Korver in for Utah.
Well, when you have Harpering, Korver, and Millsap, you have rebounding, you have shooting, you have a perimeter, one of the better three-point shooters in the league in Korver, and one of the best foul shooters. Then you have 2 guys who are bruisers in the paint, and they also are great rebounders at both ends of the floor.
The 49 for Bryant in Game 2, one off his playoff career best of 50 points.
Well, the fact that during the season, Mike, he got to the foul line 9+ times. I like what he did in in Series 1, also 9+. That's what makes him so special. You can hold him down in other avenues, maybe of not getting his percentage looks, but he's eventually going to get to the foul line because he will take the physical punishment.
Lakers lead by 1, 19-18, the 2-minute mark, quarter 1, game 1 of this best of 7. Fisher steps into the lane, running with Luke Walton. Travel.
Both guys had it. Ronnie Garrettson and also Joey Crawford both had to travel. And that was too bad because that was a beautiful 2-on-1. The spacing was excellent. Just stay wide, stay out of the paint so that it makes it difficult on the defender.
So there it is, visual evidence for those of you who say they don't call traveling in the NBA.
Nice cut.
By Korver to Millsap, tough catch. Turioff converges. The Lakers come back the other way with Walton.
That's a bonus of Turioff, Mike, the shot blocking.
Now filling the lane, and a nice pass to Odo.
We have two of the top 4 passing teams in this league. They're right up there in assists. Every guy is unselfish. They'll make the extra pass in traffic. That's why it's a joy to watch them play.
Utah this year was second in assists. The Lakers 4th. And a lot of it, those passes, interior passing. Boozer to Millsap.
We just had 2 of the best passes I've seen this year in traffic. All right, one at one end, one at the other. Beautiful, because guys could selfishly force up a shot.
Bryant comes back behind the lines, watched by Korver essentially for these couple of moments. Fisher. And Boozer gets the board. Charlie said a big rebounding quarter, a half dozen already. Millsap on the run.
Now, with Millsap in there and Harpering, you have to be careful. With the first unit, Utah's not a blazing fast break type of a team. But when these guys get in, you know you got to match up with Millsap with a power forward. He cannot fall asleep.
Bryant, a 3 and a foul away from the ball. A chance for a 4-point Laker play.
Now, he shot that from right in front of where you and I are sitting, okay? I mean, come on, we could have reached out and touched them. I mean, this is just beautiful. Unexpected, right up in Korver's face. Now, we got Brewer on Kobe early, Korver on him. You know during the night that you will see Harpering on him, and then also other people. Jerry Sloan will continue to rotate guys, trying to wear him down over the evening.
15 already for Bryant. Harpering fouled Luke Walton on the elbow on the left, so Luke adds the free throw, and it's a 3-point LA lead. Coach mentioned these are 2 of the top 4 assist teams in the league. For what it's worth, Phoenix was number 1, Denver number 3 in the assist category.
And we're seeing it, Mike. We're seeing beautiful passing.
Korver, a great shooter and a big addition via trade this year. Everybody talks about the star guys. Korver's addition to Utah was huge. He fit right in to what the Jazz do. 1-point game, shot clock off, and the likely MVP has it in his hands. Taking Korver in the lane, unable to finish. No foul, and our first quarter comes to an end. Bryant carrying the Lakers as the fans unhappy with the non-call. He has 11 of LA's final 14 points and 15 in the quarter. 6 lead changes in the first. The Lakers by 1. And we continue after this message and a word from your ABC station on the home of the NBA Finals.
Welcome back to the Staples Center, where the Lakers lead the Jazz by 1 after 1. Coach, the question coming into this game, the quick turnaround, how it was going to affect your team. How do they seem to be responding so far after 1?
Well, don't worry about the turnaround. There's plenty of time for guys to play. It's just basketball, and it's not a matter of life and death.
Kobe Bryant, a big first quarter for him, 15 points. What do you have to do differently defensively against him?
We got to put everybody on it.
Everybody.
You got to put the whole team on it. We can't match up with Kobe Bryant. We knew that coming in there. He's a great player. We just have to do the best we can to try to keep him in the side from getting layups. And obviously, when you do that, you got to try to keep them from getting second shots, which they've hurt us with that.
All right, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Lisa. I love it. That guy spent thousands of nights in the NBA gym. He's been part of the league for 40 years, going back to when he was number 1 pick for the Bulls in '67. And Jerry Sloan said, game 1, quarter 1, we can't stop it. We got nobody. We'll just put everybody on him. I love it.
The backcourt of the Chicago Bulls, Norm Van Leer and Jerry Sloan, famous. Because if they couldn't defend you, you were going down. I'll tell you that right now.
Gasol with 2 fouls back
you're
in.
beyond the foul line a lot.
Storm and Norman, Jordan Farmar and Sasha Vujacic in for the Lakers. That fell out of Farmar's hands, and then Okur takes away his shot opportunity. So as Bryant sits to start the second, Jordan Farmar, Sasha Vujacic, Ronny Turiaf, Luke Walton, and Pau Gasol for LA.
Now, the 4 young men out there for the Lakers right now have had a fantastic year. With Farmer and Vujacic, you have two guys who shoot the three extremely well, very high percentage shooters. Walton is another playmaker at the small forward position. And then you have Turiev with Gasol. They're giving Gasol the minutes right now. He will be the main offensive threat here with this group.
Okur is the lone starter coach out there for Utah. Good job by Walton with a deflection. Deflection to be so important in this series. And a turnover by the third-year man, Ronnie Price, out of Utah Valley State, will give it to the Lakers.
Mike, you brought up a good point earlier. During the season, we know that Utah was not a good road team, okay? They struggled. They were under 500. Now, the big thing is when they're on the road, they turn the ball over. Now, we have to watch that because that is their 5th turnover, and we're early in this game.
And you saw the Lakers have just one. Vujacic, and one. Sasha Vujacic, who when he came into the league out of Slovenia was really just a shooter. He has added the ability to put it down, and it's expanded his minutes on the floor.
Well, first of all, he's taller than you think. You know, he's over 6'5". He can handle the ball because when he came into the league, he was a point guard. He shoots the three extremely well. In his country, they call him the machine. The young guy can score the basketball. Now, you put him in the backcourt with Farmer. You have two guys who can get up and down the floor. Then you have Walton who can create on the break as well. It is an interesting unit, and to me, this has been the secret part of the success of the Lakers, is this bench.
Don't hear a lot talked about the job of acquiring parts over the couple of years when the Lakers were unable to, one, get in the playoffs, then the last 2 years get out of the first round. Harpering is met at the rim by Gasol. 5 to shoot. We've got a lot of blocks in this first quarter, and another turnover, a half dozen now, on the Jazz, more than they had all Friday night in the closeout game against Houston.
Excellent point, Mike. And Friday night, we know they played a Jazz-type game. That was the only game in the series where the Jazz scored over 100 points.
Turiev misfires, so Okur the rebound for Utah.
Mike, this unit's got to get back to the cutting. Get the ball into the post. See, you got another turnover here right now. See, that's bad. Right now, we're up to 7 turnovers, and we still have 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. For a fan, if you're sitting out there, you say, well, what's a lot of turnovers? If your team gets 14 or 15 turnovers, you're really upset with your guys. You're upset with the perimeter people who are basically handling the basketball.
Paul Millsap calls for that offensive foul. Here's the three from Vujacic. So much more confident in-game shooting this year, Sasha Vujacic.
Vujacic shoots the three at 44%. Farmer at 37%. Now, they are some really impressive stats for two guys on the second unit.
Coach talked about the turnovers a moment ago. 14.1 was the average turnover number in the NBA per team this year. Korver the miss. Trip kept alive as Darren Williams and Okur, the two starters.
Yeah, Korver just missed Millsap. Millsap was wide open.
Oh, Turiev at the rim. Meeting Williams for the dunk with the putback. And Harper hits the deck as Luke Walton was getting up. Got a hit to Harper. Vujacic in transition was left free. 3 more. Sasha. Back to Cruz.
It always helps when you have nothing going, that when you kick the ball back out, you have guys who can hit the three. And right now, this Utah Jazz team, they got to get back to the power game.
Darren Williams to miss. Korver inside for an offensive board. That odd mid-range jumper for Harper is off. Get a lot of those 7-8 footers in the game. Gasol wants it.
Oh, come on, Farmer, you missed the Gasol. How can you do that? He was 3 feet in front of the rim with his man pinned.
Vujacic got it to him, but a much tougher place to do something with it. Third try, and he'll come to the line with free throws.
Mike, like we say, there's one part of the game which is missing. The art of passing is missing.
How about this? At the rim, Ronnie Turiev. Utah sticking with it on that end, but the second unit for the Lakers, Hubie said, a key to this series. What a start they've had to this quarter, including Sasha Vujacic, who has 9 as the Lakers lead by 8.
I'm Bonnie Somerville from Kashmir Mafia. Thanks for watching ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Thank you, Stuart. You mentioned the Cavs and the Celtics game 1 in Boston on Tuesday. We'll have game 2 over on ESPN Thursday night, starting playoff doubleheader. Game 3 of the Hornets-San Antonio series as the scene shifts to the home of the NBA champions, the Spurs. They're down 1-0 in that series. Coach Kobe goes to the bench. The quarter starts 9-2 for the Lakers. Points out a key that you were highlighting in this series, LA's bench versus Utah's bench.
And they've been doing it all year, and especially early in the year when they had Bynum playing with that group. Then it was murder with Bynum at center and Turiaf at power forward.
Vujacic catch and shoot again is off the mark.
The big thing right now, the Jazz have just got to regroup and get back to the inside paint game so that they can get second shots when they miss the close-in shot, or also the potential of getting fouled.
Okur goes right there out of the timeout, and Coach Jerry Sloan went to his starting 5.
Well, I think Jerry Sloan might have emphasized that point a little bit. All right, we can do without all these long jumpers. Let's get the ball in where we know we can hurt them, and we can hurt them on the offensive boards if we miss.
Kobe will check in next dead ball. Vujacic working on Brewer, and he stepped on the sideline, so it will go back to the Lakers. Here comes Bryant, 15 points on just 6 field goals, and a nice hand for Vujacic as he checks out.
I did a terrific job. Mike, at both ends of the floor now. Turiaf with 3 blocks for the Lakers. Kurylenko with 3 blocks for the Utah Jazz.
Okur over Gasol is no good, and Bryant picks up the rebound, his first of the day.
Oh, my. Well, it took him a long time to get going, all right?
Crossing over on Kurylenko on the chance for the 3-point play.
Now, this is just so quick. He did it earlier in the quarter, in the first quarter, and then that long step. See, his main thing is he can finish with either hand, and that's the beauty of Kobe. Plus, he can take the physical hit and make it a 3-point play.
That wasn't a chopped liver, as you would say, defender. He did that either.
No. Well, come on. He's on dressed the best. Come on.
All defensive team Kurylenko in 2006 in the NBA. Okur just inside the line, missed it. The shots are quick here for Utah the last couple of trips.
Mike, Okur's got to understand. He's got Gasol with 2 fouls. He can stop taking the long jump shots. You can get him on your cuts or even off the dribble.
Farmar a 3. Former UCLA star missed it. Kurylenko the rebound. Lakers leading by 9. It equals LA's largest lead of this game 1 in the Western semifinals. Odom will be called for the foul on Carlos Boozer. Well, you heard the MVP chance for Bryant when he was at the line. LA Times report that he'll be named the MVP. Not confirmed yet by the league, but Kobe, we asked him about what if the reports are true and you are the MVP of the league?
It'd just be a total buzzkill. It was like everybody was just way off, just completely wrong. But it's very exciting, and I'm just very thankful for it, and having been in the league for such a long time, and to win an MVP, it's very special.
Kobe said it better not be false at this point, all these reports, because everybody's congratulating me. Darren Williams short on the jumper. Odom comes out of the scrum. Bryant. 2 more. He's having an MVP half. 20 points already in the first.
Now we're seeing the strength of both teams. You can see the offensive rebounding by Utah. They're so physical down in the painted area. But now the quickness in the open floor of the Lakers is taking its toll here.
11-point Laker lead. A little tentative on this end was Brewer. 3 to shoot. Okur put it on the deck. Fisher again, the quick hands to knock it away.
4 on 2. 4 on 2.
Kurylenko's quick hands get it back. A bad pass by Boozer. He forgot Radmanovic was there. Kobe to Gasol. Timeout, Utah. To their feet in LA.
Now just watch Kobe Bryant. You're going to see as this pass comes up here now. First of all, a steal. All right, now he could shoot it, but he doesn't. He gives it to his center.
8 in a row for LA, and they're scoring 16 of the 20 in the quarter.
The 2008 NBA Playoffs on ABC. Brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors and Verizon Wireless. Get live GameCast, personalized alerts, and exclusive commentary with ESPN MVP on VCast. Text TRIAL to 7280 for a special 5-use trial today.
Beautiful aerial look at Southern California, and the pier, and the Los Angeles Lakers care about this community. The Lakers treated Joe Spears from the Make-A-Wish Foundation to a special VIP experience during a recent playoff game. Joe met with his idol Kobe Bryant after the game. During this current NBA season, the Lakers have granted over 20 wishes through the Make-A-Wish Foundation, which enriches the lives of children with life-threatening medical conditions through its wish-granting work. It's another great part of the NBA where caring happens. What a start to this series for Bryant. 20 points, 7 of 7 from the line, a couple of assists, and the Lakers, they're outscoring Utah 16-4 in the first half of this quarter.
Mike, the major issue are the 9 turnovers. The 9 turnovers are taking away good shot opportunities for you. Now there, once again, you get the ball in the painted area, you're scoring. You have 8 offensive rebounds. The key is you got to get to the line. All of the outside jump shooting, you're told right now, getting to the line and getting the ball into the paint is your best way to go.
Kirilenko gets the defensive assignment now on Bryant. And Okur comes for a double. That's the problem when you double these guys. There's so many people who can kill you. Gasol missed that time.
Well, you saw a very heady player there. When the double is coming, go away from the double. Kobe did not spin into it. He turned to the baseline.
Kirilenko at deep 2. Okur able to get the rebound between 2 Lakers. Tied up and fouled by Kobe. Lisa Salters has more on the likely MVP of the league.
Well, Mike, you heard Kobe laughing, saying that, he hopes that the reports are right. It's not official until David Stern announces it next week, but he was actually out on Friday night when he got the email telling him that he was reportedly going to be named the MVP. He was with the entire team. They were out to dinner, all watching the Houston-Utah game, and when he shared with his teammates the email, I'm told that everyone got up and cheered for him. And Derek Fisher said, Kobe, he's not a sentimental kind of a guy, but he really was very pleased. And he said it means a lot to the entire team because the knock on Kobe has been that he doesn't make his teammates better. And he said this meant a lot to us because now everyone can see that he really does.
Radmanovic and Kirilenko trade dunks. It's back to an 11-point game. And just to clarify, the LA Times reported that Kobe will be named the MVP later on this week. During the playoffs, that usually happens during a home game, unless you're knocked out in the first round like Dallas was last year, and Nowitzki had to get at a press conference. Williams with a tremendous pass. It was in tight quarters. Fisher was out of bounds as he was trying to save it, so it will stay down here with the Jazz. If he's the MVP, if the captain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, only did it all those times you see in front of you, 3 back-to-backs. Magic Johnson also in the building tonight with his most valuable players, and Shaquille O'Neal, who was the MVP of the league in the 99-2000 season. You'd think there would be more, but that's the list, and it would be a great addition if, in fact, it does happen later on this week.
I like to see the Jazz. The Jazz are doing a nice job, Mike, on the glass. Now, they have 9 offensive rebounds right now. But this is their downfall. This is their 10th turnover. I know you're saying, boy, you're really harping at that. Well, that's what's stopping them from scoring at the other end of the floor.
On the other end, when Fisher slid out of bounds, I think somebody got tangled with Phil Jackson, who may have taken the worst of it. Derek Fisher with the knockdown. As you know, you see Phil very often sitting on that higher chair to help keep his hips up high. He's had replacement surgery, and he's been in pain, whether it's been the legs or the hips, over the last few years. Ronnie Brewer misfires. He's 1 of 3 from the field. Utah's outside shooting has not been there, and the Lakers doing it off turnovers and transition. Fisher off the glass, a 15-point lead, largest of the day for LA.
Mike, the transition game is killing them. Right now, that was the 11th point for the Lakers out in transition. If you have as many turnovers, you cannot stop them from getting out 2-on-3, 3-on-2, 2-on-1, 4-on-3.
Darren Williams on the drive. The point guard is short, but got his own rebound with a high release, and he got hit in the head as well and knocked down. But no call, and it's a 13-point game.
Now, right now, Darren Williams struggling. He's 1 for 6 from the floor, and they need him to have a good game here. But we know that he's an excellent second-half guy.
We're going to take a 20 here as Williams got that save from Brewer, and I know where to go. Brewer is reaching at his back, so let's see. We've had Phil Jackson run into and showing some pain on his face, and Brewer and Williams. Been a tough moment or so. Here is Phil Jackson as they look at Williams. on this dive by Fisher to save with Brewer in there as well. Phil Jackson getting clipped, and here's the shot that Williams took a moment ago. All right, we'll check everybody out after the timeout. Playoff Sunday in LA. The celebrities out in full force. Of course, Denzel Washington, regular here. We saw Anthony Kiedis walking in before the start of the game from airplane fame, right? The captain, Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. There's Kevin Connolly from Entourage, who's been seen here on a regular basis. Tobey Maguire, you see him at Laker games often. Diane Cannon, who brought the cookies for the players for some treats before the game, and Robert Downey Jr., and of course, TV standard. You have to end the Lakers celebrity run with Jack. Now, Hubie, when you came back and were coaching Memphis, you're over there on the visitors bench, and Jack, who waved to you before when he saw you sitting over here, he had a funny moment as you were in a huddle there with your Memphis team.
Well, we're two Jersey guys. I'm from Elizabeth, and Jack's from Asbury Park down the shore. So I'm in the huddle. It's the first huddle of the game. My kids are all around me, and they're listening, and all of a sudden they hear, "Hey, Hubie." And everybody looks up, including myself. It's Jack Nicholson. I say, "Hey, hi, Jack." He goes, "Hubie, I'm sorry I'm late. It was traffic." Well, my kids almost fell off today. Everybody is laughing, they're hysterical, right? And Jack is being serious.
Kobe on the finish, and he's fouled by Andre Kirilenko in this 13-point game. So you're talking about all your Memphis players like Battier and Mike Miller and all those guys.
Pau Gasol.
Right.
It was really a fun time. It was a fun time for our young players.
Sure.
Okay, and they're all going, "Hey, Hubie knows Jack." I mean, come on. I mean, if you're a coach in this league, I hope you would know Jack, because you have to walk in front of him every time you are registering a complaint.
And he's right there in with you, all the visiting coaches as well. And you know he's a great basketball fan.
Oh, absolutely, Mike. Come on, he's been here forever, back in the 70s, and then also he talks to you as the game is going on. As you're walking in front of him, he's talking to you about what's going to happen. This guy's in foul trouble. Why are you taking him out? You know, and I mean, he'll question what you're doing. I mean, it's I think any guy in the league that's been here a while, he loves to, have fun with everyone, but also he really knows what he's talking about.
This guy having a great game. Kobe Bryant, as Gasol comes to the bench and sits down. Kobe 22 points on just 8 field goal attempts, getting to the line and hitting all 9 of his free throws. The Lakers lead by 15. On the outside, Joey Crawford has the foul call on Derek Fisher. T-Mobile halftime report coming up. Congratulations to the Celtics for advancing. They'll have the recap of the blowout and an interview with Dwight Howard as he and Orlando try to get Game 2 and even the series against Detroit. And John Barry's Fave 5 Lakers, all coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report.
The double teaming on Okor and Boozer. Now you see, well, how's Boozer doing? Well, right now, Boozer's having a tough half. Not only can he make the shots, right now he's 3 for 7, but he has 6 turnovers in this half.
And Fisher's done a great job. Radmanovic for that hoop, and it's a 7-2-point Laker lead.
Well, they're wearing him out on the fast break. You must give them credit. Not only are they forcing the turnovers and forcing the miss, but their first pass to initiate the break is excellent.
Already 15-2 in fast break points on Utah. Okor back out to Darren Williams. Okor will take that one. It's 2. His toe is on the tape and knocked down by Mehmet, who's an outstanding outside shooter.
Now, they needed that. Now, they're 1 for 7 in threes. And during the season and also during the first round with Houston, they only take 13 a game. Already in this game, 7. You say, now why? Because of the frustration of the defense.
Turiaf couldn't convert on the nice feed inside from Bryant. See if Utah can get a couple of scores and stops here in this final minute of the first half. Jazz coming off the Friday night game, eliminating Houston at home in the 38.5-hour turnaround. Back on the floor. It's no big deal in the regular season. You do that all the time. Okor missed the 3. Boozer missed the 2. And Okor is fouled in the act, and he'll come to the line. It's a little bit different in the playoffs, especially when the Lakers have been sitting for 5 days. And with Utah having the series lead 3-1, 3-2, Jerry Sloan, the Phil Jackson staff, they were working ahead, thinking, well, it's going to be Utah, and if not, we'll start adjusting if there's a Game 7.
Well, I like what Jerry said, though, on the interview with Lisa, and that is, look, this is basketball. It's only basketball. We had a day to prepare. Now, that's not making all of these bad passes, okay? Right. You're supposed to be a basketball player, professional, and come in here and run the offense that you're famous for. and you're famous for getting to the line. You're second in the league in foul shot attempts, almost 29 a game. Well, until these two, you've only attempted 6. So what you're telling me is you're rebounding the offensive board. You're doing a fabulous job. You're giving us all this effort, but we're not scoring. We're not getting any points in the painted area that we should be.
One more for Okur as he shoots. We'll remind you can visit NBA.com, where you can get ready for the playoffs now. At NBAstore.com, you can find the best selection of team jerseys, hats, T-shirts, and more. NBAstore.com, every team in one store. Utah had a brief early lead by 4. It has been Lakers ever since. Big start to the second quarter. C.J. Miles now watching Kobe. Radmanovic catching fling. A hold by Boozer. He had Lamar Odom's jersey. It was an easy call. And with Utah in the penalty, free throws coming for the 9th-year man out of Rhode Island.
Yeah, the half has just been a nightmare. When you just think of the opportunities that we've given away if you're a Utah Jazz fan because of the bad passing. Then at this end of the floor, the fast break lane has been wide open through the half. You gave the numbers, Mike, and they're outstanding numbers. Any coach is going to be upset with that.
Odom was slightly under his average in the series against Denver, scoring 11 points a game. He was 7th in the league in rebounding this year at over 10 a game. So he gives you a double-double on average every night. Derek Fisher will check out. So many interesting storylines with Derek in this series. Of course, playing for Utah last year. You remember his daughter and her illness, so we'll talk about that in the second half as Derek prepares to return to Salt Lake City for games 3 and 4 with the Lakers on Friday and Sunday.
Now, I like this. The Lakers have this. They have full court pressure. They have full court zone trapping. What they're just trying to do is run some precious time off of this 24-second clock.
Jordan Farmar defending Darren Williams. It will be Miles, the lefty, with the 3. See if the Lakers can get a quick one out of Kobe. They deny Kobe, and the pass to an open space by Radmanovic forces the foul by Miles at midcourt.
It's been that kind of a hit. You make the long 3, you get it down to 11 points. All you have to do is just defend them right now, and then you just can't make a silly foul. It happened right in front of the referee.
So Bryant back to the line where he has converted on all 9 of his free throw attempts. That is a killer. You can get a score, if you can get a stop. Here you are. It's only an 11-point deal at the half. DJ Benga will check in. Another big guy out there to defend the inbounds here is Lamar Odom. Checks out at the end of the half.
Now, the one thing you do not want is a long pass, like a 20 to 30-foot pass here. Because if you get that, you can get over half court, Mike, in 2 dribbles and still get off a high percentage shot.
Now Benga will guard Okur, 13-point lead. Almost a turnover.
Yep, that was the release, man.
Williams got it off in time. Oh, almost banked it in to end a second quarter when the Lakers outscored Utah 29-17 to take the lead into the locker room. 13-point LA lead at the half of game 1. Kobe had 24, and number 24 is with Lisa.
Thanks, Mike. Kobe, all week you were saying you were a little bit antsy. Obviously, you're taking that out on the Jazz. How big did the bucket look for you in that first half?
It felt pretty good. I got some easy opportunities, and I think they respected my teammates a lot, which has opened up a lot of lanes for me.
And the bench doing its thing. How have the bench players been able to be so effective in that first half?
Well, we all stay within ourselves, and they come out and they run the offense extremely well, and they're able to get some good looks. Sasha the Machine came in and was big for us.
All right, thanks a lot.
You got it.
11 turnovers by the Utah Jazz and a fast break point advantage for the Lakers. Part of that first half story. The guys will dissect that. The blowout by Boston as the Celtics move to the second round. The Dwight Howard interview. And JB with his fave 5 of the Lakers. All coming up on the T-Mobile halftime report. This close to a 10-point game. As a friend of mine once said, the iron uncon. At the half in Los Angeles on a beautiful Sunday with the Lakers in the playoff, the top seed in the Western Conference, leading the Jazz by the 13-point margin. The T-Mobile halftime report coming up next here on ABC.